yo.
Peace and love.
What is going
on? What's going on,
My
fellas?
brothers.
All right, welcome.
What's up with
How y'all
y'all
feeling tonight? Everybody good?
Oh yeah. Glad to be here one more time, bro.
One more time. Thank
Yes,
God.
it is a blessing. It's a blessing to be here.
Yes, sir.
Blessing to be on this side.
Yes.
They say 10 toes up, 10 toes down, whatever. Had to be, yeah. You know what I mean? So, but in that vein, shout outs to the families of a few folks that we lost in the Peanut. What was the young lady's?
Man.
Could you give her a correct name, Q?
Andrea Golf, better known as Peanut.
There you go.
Yes,
known as
man,
Peanut.
another soldier, man. That Fourth Ward, right?
Yeah. Newtown
Yeah.
19 as well. When we came out secondary move.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know
Building
she lives out there. She's related to Kent Bernard, right?
Yeah.
Right, all the family,
I talked
right?
to him. I talked to him the day after it happened, man. Man, that was very hard for him. If you watch it, Kent, our thoughts and prayers and condolences to all you and family,
So
bro.
shout out to Andrea Golf.
Yes, the entire family.
Well, thanks, Kenny, for giving some insight on that as well. And then, of course, Vincent O'Leggett. I think his homegoing celebration of life is coming up, Q.
Going to be on Friday the 13th at First Christian Church. Viewing at 10. Service begins at 11. And if you plan to attend, I would suggest you be there early because it's going to be a very, very highly attended service, largely attended service. And so I would recommend you getting there early if you can.
Yeah,
hey, Angie Dupree, how you doing? How you doing, Miss Cheryl Quinn? Welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Darlene Collins, welcome.
Darlene Collins, welcome back. I'm still 6'6", Darlene.
Mimi Lee, how you doing, Mimi? What's up, baby?
What'd you say, Kenny? You still
Mimi?
6'6"?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we seen her at the award ceremony, she said, I didn't realize you were that tall. You look short on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Also want to send a shout out to Mimi's daughter, Michelle. Her birthday today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Michelle.
birthday. I saw that. Happy birthday.
Really? Shout out. Okay. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So, Cheryl Queen, the lovely Cheryl the
Girl
Queen.
in the house. That's
What's up,
Queen.
Cheryl?
Peace and
Tell Keith I said what up.
So look, we got another action-packed show tonight. Thanks everybody for joining in. This is right about this time is the time you can go out to your audience or to your page and share this to your page, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, wherever. And shout out to your family and friends and let them know that the Night Brothers are on the air. Great show last week, gentlemen, too, by the way, with the Pocket
awesome
3.
show. Awesome show last week, bro.
Awesome show.
Yes, indeed. And we'll
Very
have
talented
more of
brother.
that coming up. So tonight, we're going to keep it rolling because we got a lot going on. We got a new segment we're going to do tonight and a whole lot of good fun. All right, y'all ready for all that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, y'all, check out Natural rocking that Navy shirt. Go ahead, Natural.
That Navy shirt is
Hey,
fresh,
man, you
natural.
know, peace and love.
Man,
Look, I
rocking
just
the whole
want to
show down.
welcome everybody to comment, share, and definitely ask whatever questions you may have. I hope you had an incredible Giving Thanks Day with you and your family. The most important part about it, we definitely give thanks and praise for our families, our friends, our loved ones that are still here with us, and also, for the ancestors. We definitely give thanks and praise for all that they've done. Also, I salute somebody that just transitioned to ancestors, educator, Ms. Mary Pindell. Peace and love. God bless you and your family, and our condolences, indeed. Peace and love, legends. Definitely. What's good? Hey, look, we want to talk about another nation. It's really, really coming up. It's a strong nation. And if you hit, $ KENNEDIZZLE 1113, you can hit the best nation, and that's the donation. Y'all know what it is, the donation. So we definitely appreciate your presence and everything else. Peace and love, Lisa Slade. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, good love. Peace and love. Look, we want to keep it moving. Just type in whatever questions, comments, concerns, whatever you have on your mind. Please share this with us just one time, and we'll slide it in the show, and you already know. So thank you for your presence, because your presence is a present to us. Peace and love. Let's roll, 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 roll.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, guys, look, it's the holiday season, and that means we may partake in a beverage or two. But I always want to say that if you're drinking adult beverages, please don't get behind the wheel after doing so, particularly if you've had multiple adult beverages, okay? But with that being said, we're going to have some homebrew tonight. We got some tasty beverages for you right here tonight. The first beverage on tap is a new segment that we're rolling out called Just My POV. And that means the panelists will give their random thoughts on their point of view on a particular topic. And you just listen to find out what that topic may be. You never know what that topic may be. That's why you have to tune in, okay? So that's coming up very soon. And following that, we're going to have another tasty beverage number 2, and this one should go down smooth. We're going to talk about a features thing. What happened to Christmas that I once knew? What happened to the Christmas that I once knew? Why is it so different? Why are families so different? We're going to delve into that a little bit, and I think you might find it interesting, some of the reasons and rationale why things seem different within some families. Back to you, Lenny. Let's get this thing popping.
All right. Well, look, we're going to jump right into this new segment, and it's called My POV, My Point of View. These are random thoughts, and we encourage you, the studio audience, to play along at home. What I mean by that is if you have a random point of view, a random thought, subject matter that you want to talk about, y'all know how the routine goes. Just type it in the chat group, and you'll see how the game is evolving as we go along. So, but I think we're going to start with Arden at the top left. Arden, tell us what your random thought, point of view is, something that you just wanted to get off your damn chest or nothing else tonight. Tell the folks what's on your mind, brother.
Let me start with, clean energy. Please put a 1 in the chat box if you looking at electric cars as far as that's concerned, and be more quote unquote good, better to the environment. And I just want you to understand that I don't know if you had that first picture, that they kind of show us. This is the picture we all see with clean energy. Hopefully, if you agree, you agree. If you don't, you can just type it in right now. This is our quote-unquote pitch for green energy. But what green energy comes out of, it needs cobalt. And that's the mine, that's found and mined mainly in the DRC, which is the Democratic Republic of Congo, which poses significant risk in everything in reference to anybody that lives around it that's exposed to it. More importantly, you're not making any money off of it. Now, if you go to Dubai, where they get the oil from, everybody there is wealthy because they get the oil from there. Now, this is like the next tap in the oil. Now, if you look up at the other pictures and the other people that's getting, as you see in this other picture, that's how they mining out there, and that's what's going on. It's children, everything else. So the dangers of mining cobalt, with child labor being exploited, health risks, prolonged exposure to cobalt dust can lead to respiratory diseases, skin conditions, potential long-term health impacts, such as cancer, work environments, conditions. People having things collapse. Bad. People are actually mining by hand, as you can see. and the ones that are digging, deal with like mine collapse, injury, and you just toxic. You exposed to all of these toxics, but it's just ironic that they call this clean. Now, what's going on is, like, if your village is anywhere close to cobalt mines, what do you think is happening to those people? They're being removed. Community displacement is a serious, serious situation, and okay, we're going to give you a few pennies for this land that you've been on for thousands of years. People have been on these certain lands and been pushed off their land because of what's going on. Social unrest, economic dependency on this, even though it's getting ripped off.
So let me ask you a question, Ard. So are you saying people that think twice about clean energy, or just remember that there's something behind it, sort of like, the slave labor that's done for other things like Nike shoes and all kinds of crazy stuff, but this is even worse?
Well, the thing is, it's being pitched like you're helping the planet. This is very disruptive to the planet. They have a area the size of France that they are just doing, like you see right now, to get cobalt out the continent. So I mean, it's adversely affecting, and then a runoff of this is affecting villages and areas around it. So it's a far-reaching situation. It's not as clean as people want to wrap it up to see. And then guess what? And again, we're getting exploited to get minerals out of our own country.
Wow. You see all these people right here? Wow, man.
And they're making no money.
That is crazy. They just got them.
That's the only option.
Well, look, Ard, you got your 2 minutes, brother. I'm glad you brought your point of view out. And, shout out to the public for, drop some seeds, plant some seeds, and something to think about. Appreciate your POV, baby. Y'all dropping one in the chat group for Ard for dropping that knowledge.
Yes, sir.
He always go deep. Brother, go deep. Deep Q. Clockwise. Go around the clock.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
All right, how's everybody doing? Listen, man, I want to just dive into this situation with President Biden pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. And this has a lot of ramifications to it. First of all, it's something that he said he would never do. He said he would not interfere with the process, the justice process. And he said it on numerous occasions, as a matter of fact. And it kind of, it helps manipulate the distrust and the public perception of the court system. I mean, it further erodes the trust in the court system. He was convicted by a jury of his peers. It was not like it was a political thing. He was convicted of a gun charge and tax evasion and things of that nature. And the problem with it is he's getting criticism, bipartisan criticism. In other words, he's getting criticism from Republicans and his own party, Democrats as well, for what he's done here, for the move he's made here. Now, the main thing that I really don't like about it, and I'm going to wrap this thing up because I don't want to go over 2 minutes, is that this opens the door up for our incoming president to use this same process in doing things like pardoning those from J6. If you think about that, he can just wipe out all the J6 sentences if he wants to. It opens up the door for that. It opens up the door for him wiping out the process of people like Steve Bannon, who's already out, but others who may be in jail, like Rudy Giuliani and others who have done things to this country. It's opened up the door for him to be able to do the same thing there. Now, I understand somebody looking out for their family and their son. I understand that. But at the same time, your word has to be your word.
All right. I hear you, brother. I think, good point. Good points. I think Biden said the hell with it. I'm going to do what the hell I want on my way out the door.
Exactly.
I think that's what that came down to. Everybody else did something similar.
Exactly.
So, we all.
That's my point of view. I'm thinking with it.
Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Nobody said nothing. They had a lot of heavy charges.
Your point of view, shout out, dropping one for Q in his point of view. Kenny, what's your random thought?
Man, This is my time of year. I'm a sports fan, so my topic, my POV is sports related, of course. This is my time of year. It's not only the basketball season, NBA basketball season, college basketball season. This has come to the conclusion of the college football season. One of my favorite teams, Roll Tide, the Alabama Crimson Tide, has been potentially included in the college football playoff ranking with 3 losses. For y'all that don't understand, that's crazy. They lost to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. They're ranked ahead of 2 other teams that have 3 losses, that were SEC teams with 3 losses. Ole Miss and South Carolina, who had comparable schedules. To me, this is a carryover to Nick Saban effect. And I'm not being angry. This is a carryover. But you see Nick Saban sitting up there with his suit on, with his little notepad. This is all photo ops. This is all the carryover. There's no way that should be.
So are you saying that ain't no way in the hell Alabama should be in the college playoff?
No, and I'm an Alabama fan. They're one of my favorite college teams. But no way. With 3 losses, no way. And barring an upset between Clemson and SMU on Saturday, which is not going to happen, they're going to be included with a potential matchup against Notre Dame. Now, those are 2 of my favorite teams. And if that does happen, I'm going to be bouncing on both sides of the fence, leaning towards Notre Dame.
So let me ask you this.
Alabama Crimson Tide with 3 losses. Come on, man.
Do you think that was a money move?
Absolutely.
Those 2 teams meeting together.
Absolutely.
You're talking about record people watching that particular game.
Absolutely.
You know what, you got a good point, because the state of Alabama, Alabama football, by the way, Alma Wallace said, "Roll Tide, brother, roll Tide, brother." And a lot of people feel like Alma, because I love Alabama too, football.
I love Alabama.
They don't have a pro team, and they treat that team like a pro team down there. And they're good for TV ratings. They like the Dallas Cowboys in a way.
You got the whole state guaranteed to be locked in.
Absolutely.
Once again, I'm gonna say this. What I said off the air. I just think it's a case of recency bias, because they've been good for the last few years. But because the team has been good for the last few years, they placed them over teams who have done better than this year. Alabama, who's a team who lost to an unranked team last week, 2 weeks ago, by over 30 points.
Yeah, they got blown out. And that's
blown out.
Which should eliminate
We're right here.
Which should eliminate and they have 3 losses.
What bring them back is those numbers, man. I'm gonna tell you, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Shoot.
All right, Kenny, good point of view,
Roll
brother.
Tide, I love the Tide. The Notre Dame Alabama game would be probably one of the highest ranking games ever, which is probably has some backlash to why they're even in contention. But come on, man.
Well, look, congratulations, Alabama. I love them. I don't think they should have made it, but I'm glad they're in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping for upset Saturday night and they don't get in.
Well, we'll see what happens. All right, look. Last thought. My random thought is, I don't know if y'all been paying attention or not, but y'all remember back in the day, I used to talk about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, that same coin that we used to talk about back in the day, that was like $10,000 and $12,000 and all that, has reached nearly $100,000 per coin.
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to say, I was happy I made some moves back in the day. I'm going to leave it like that. But I'm just saying, we don't miss out, people, black people. Anybody, don't miss out. Right? It was a joke to everybody. This Bitcoin thing was a joke to. This is my pet peeve, my 2 minute, my point of view thing. It was a joke to everybody. It was a joke to all the bankers. It was a joke to Wall Street. It was a joke to all the financial industries. Guess who buying it all up now and made it go up to $100,000?
Who's that?
All of them same people I just said. The bankers, Wall Street, the financial institution. You know that countries are buying Bitcoin and making it their reserve currency right now. It's projected that Bitcoin in the next couple of years will be $1 million per coin. So if you don't have nothing right now, go get something. That's all I'm saying right now, because
that's it.
It's real. When I look at my bank account, it's real. It's real as a ma. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna leave it at that. But
It's
don't
dumb.
miss out on it. If it ain't Bitcoin, get some crypto, y'all. Get some crypto. Okay, that's my high horse. Oh, and I see you smiling over there because I know you're a crypto holder too. So
Yeah, get some.
Anyway, that's
It
my
ain't
thing.
too late, guys. XRP just went through the roof. I mean,
All
like
right.
literally, people that had $1,000 worth of XRP are like incredibly elated right now.
It is.
I mean,
It is definitely Armand. I mean, if you look and hold on, let me go back to this Bitcoin thing one more time. You don't have to go buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't have to drop $100,000. You could buy incremental amounts. You could buy $5 worth if you want to, $10 worth. But the thing of it is, what you should do is this strategy called strategy that I was learned back in the day. It was called DCA. This means dollar cost averaging. Means that you just buy Bitcoin incrementally, small amounts over a period of time, just like you would save for retirement or whatever. And you could do this. And this Bitcoin has been the highest performing, the best performing asset in the world the last 10 years, bar nothing. Real estate, housing, fine art, wine, whatever. This has been the best performing asset class over the last 10 years, bar anything, gold or anything. That's my race, right? That's my racehorse. Anyway, Shiba Inu is another cryptocurrency. You right, and that's a cheap one. That's a real cheap one. That's like fractions of a penny. You can go buy 100,000, you can buy 1 million of them for like $15. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me go. All right, y'all, here we go. We'll talk about that in the future on
I mean, if you want to talk, you want us to talk a little bit more about that, we might just make it a segment once a month and just talk about crypto for a segment or something. So if you do, throw a one in the chat. What you about. Sorry about that.
No problem. We're gonna get to our feature segment tonight and talk a little bit about the holiday season. Kenny, take it away, man. This is your commentary.
First of all, good evening, folks. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a very good turkey day. You spent it with friends and family, seeing some people you haven't seen in a while and kicked it. But tonight we're going to talk about, first, we're going to talk about the holidays and how they have changed and may have affected you over the course of years. In this segment, we're going to take a look at and have a brief discussion on how the holidays have changed. After we take a look at this next video, we're going to get into some insight from the brothers and from you as well, our most interactive, the livest audience on the internet, the Night Brothers audience. We want some interaction from you as well about how things have changed for you, and we want you to share some of your holiday traditions and how they've changed, and how some other things have. Take it away, Lenny.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. Thank you, brother.
Hey everyone. Today, I want to talk about something deeply personal and significant for many of us. The loss of a matriarch or patriarch in Black families. When we lose that central figure, the emotional impact is immense. They are often the emotional anchor, the heart of the family. Their absence leaves a void, a gaping hole that grief rushes to fill. It's like losing the heartbeat of the family, and the ripples of that loss are felt by everyone. For many of us, the matriarch or patriarch represents our sense of identity and heritage. They are our moral compass, guiding us through life's storms. When they pass, it can feel like we're losing a part of ourselves, leading to feelings of instability and disconnection. Then there's the structural change. These figures are often our leaders, the ones who organize family gatherings, mediate disputes, and make key decisions. Their loss can leave us wondering, who will step up now? Without them, maintaining traditions like Sunday dinners, holiday gatherings, or reunions can become challenging. And over time, the family may start to drift apart. And let's not forget the cultural and historical disconnect. Matriarchs and patriarchs are the keepers of our family stories and traditions. They pass down oral histories that connect us to our roots. When they are gone, we risk losing that precious generational knowledge, leaving younger members feeling adrift and disconnected from their heritage. So, let's honor our matriarchs and patriarchs by keeping their memories alive, sharing their stories, and continuing the traditions they cherished. Through this, we can keep our family strong and connected, even in their absence. Thanks for watching, and remember to cherish every moment.
This or that Christmas traditions. Christmas music or Christmas movies.
Christmas music is just better.
Christmas dinner or Christmas breakfast.
My grandparents make the best breakfast, so I have to go with breakfast.
Christmas morning or Christmas Eve.
Obviously Christmas morning.
Hot chocolate or eggnog.
I've never had eggnog before. I don't really know what it is, so hot chocolate.
Christmas candy or Christmas cookies.
Christmas cookies.
Real Christmas tree or fake Christmas tree.
The fake trees are so boring, so real tree.
Decorating your house or decorating your Christmas tree.
Both of them, but house.
Ever wondered how technology redefined our cherished Christmas traditions? Let's unwrap the facts and myths. Myth: technology has stolen the warmth of handwritten Christmas cards. Fact: it simply transformed them into instant global greetings, connecting us wider. Myth: decorating with tech makes Christmas less traditional. Fact: innovative lighting and smart devices add a new layer of magic to our holiday decor. Myth: online shopping for gifts is impersonal. Technology hasn't replaced our traditions, it has enriched them, bringing us closer in novel ways each Christmas. Ever wondered how technology redefined our cherished Christmas traditions? Let's unwrap.
All right. So, if you couldn't guess by now, tonight's show is centered around Christmas. So from here, we got, I don't know how many Tuesdays left before Christmas jumps off. So each Tuesday we will have some type of segment related to the Christmas holidays and what it means and explore some aspect of the Christmas holidays just to kind of see if we can all take each other into the spirit. But we're going to look at some different avenues of it as well. Christmas lights, like this lady, Phyllis T. Adams, lighting things up. You know what I mean? Cute. But we're gonna talk about Christmas. So, Q, I'm gonna start with you because here again, much like our point of view, we're talking about our own individual aspects of Christmas and what it means to us. And won't you dive into your first question, because you're the one that came up with the patriarch and matriarch laws. Could you talk about that, Q?
Turn the music down, Lenny, please.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
And my part of this, I wanted to talk about the loss of a matriarch or patriarch and the profound emotional and grief impact it has on the family, on the traditions and celebrations during the holidays. And there's several components to this, and I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible. There's the emotional impact of it. Grief or loss often leaves a void. I mean, it can leave a big void in families. And often that person is like the moral compass of the family, and everything flows around them, which creates structure change. It creates that structure change because of that void being there. That leadership that was there with the family is no longer there. And it's a matter of who steps up and takes that role. Does somebody grab the horn and takes the role of leadership in the family? It affects family cohesion. I mean, families, sometimes when they lose their leader, they struggle to stay together. They struggle to continue to have family gatherings, reunions, celebrating holidays together, things of that nature. And it can lead to fragmentation of the family, where everybody kind of frays and it falls apart. But one of the things that really disturbs me most, that we talked about in the video, is that how the cultural disconnect can take place. And sometimes we lose that oral history that's passed down from that leader of the family, the stories and traditions that are passed down, and those things can be lost forever. They may not know what happened when we grew up in town on Northwest Street. They may not know about how we used to follow the parades downtown and things of that nature. All those things will be lost, and that's part of the real impact of losing a loved one, a family member and leader during the holiday season.
Q, can you respond to or just opine on Phyllis T. Adams says it's made a huge difference in our lives. We all went to my mom's house, lots of noise. We ate dinner there every year. Q, you are absolutely right. You want to opine?
Yeah, T, I agree with you. I mean, it was something about having the family as a whole be together. I mean, because oftentimes we always say the only time you get to see people is at a funeral or a wedding. And that was a joyous occasion on which we could all gather together and just enjoy each other's company. We're talking about Christmas right now, but I always said that Thanksgiving was one of my favorite holidays for that very reason you talked about. Sitting around eating dinner, just enjoying each other's company, no anticipation of presents and things of that nature, but just being family and being closely bonded. So I understand what you're saying, T. And our family is much the same way.
Yep. Definitely. I don't know, Kenny gonna touch on this a little bit, but I Mom's been gone 2 years on
Yes.
December the 1st. Mom left us 2 years ago, a couple days ago, December 1st. It's December 3rd today. I thought about that when I got up on the 1st, and
Yep.
and I was, as we come through the holidays, so Thanksgiving we didn't have a big gathering. It was very, very small gathering, though we had a good time. And I don't want to say too much because we opened up a bottle of wine that night. Me and Arden opened up a bottle of wine that night that I had been saving for like 10 years. And that joint was delicious, wasn't it, Arden?
He's getting applause.
Anyway, I digress. But and I'm thinking about that small gathering that we had on Thursday. I was thinking, there's no real plans for our family for Christmas, and that would be the first time ever that we didn't have some sort of gathering for Christmas amongst our family. So, and but I did notice this, and I want to throw this question out to the audience: is technology is technology playing a role in the separation or splitting apart of the human bonding experience? Our cell phones and media are dehumanizing the physical interactions we used to have during family members, and as a younger generation become conditioned to this disconnected family structure because they're growing up in this disconnected family structure. So this is their reality, and this is their remembrance of building traditions. So, because I noticed even when we're together, everybody all like this and whatnot, at the dinner table, So, what say y'all, audience, and you, brothers?
Well, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let Kenny and Art get in as well. I know it's kind of affected communication and dialogue is not what it should be. People prefer to send a text message rather than make a phone call and hear a person's voice, or play something on Facebook, on social media, rather than contact that person directly. And it's taken away a little bit of the interaction, the real interaction, human interaction, and can be a way of not building binding family together, because it seems like it's just not the same type of bond when somebody's just sending you a text message, happy birthday, rather than that personal call and hear that person's voice. And just small things like that. And it's a generational thing, I think, as well, too. More younger people are more connected to social media and things of that nature. But go ahead, Arden, what say you?
Oh, I'm next. Check it. I really feel like it's a double-edged sword. Let's, just to be honest, it really is a double-edged sword. I think it affects people when they're together at any time of the year, because you go around and you see everybody in one room and the TV's on, the game might be on, but everybody's still looking at their phone. So, even though they're together, they're not together. You know, I do see that as an aspect that is definitely not helping at all. What I do also see on the other side is I have family around the world, and we didn't do it this year. It's been the first year for a little while, but like Thanksgiving and New Year's, we jump on the Zoom and we see each other that we haven't seen. And if you love somebody and you see them, I don't care if they're next in the next room or if they're on the other side of the planet, the fact that you can see them smile and you can see their reaction, their connection, and you can see their eyes when they're talking to you, and that impact has really, really connected people on a whole nother level. But it's realistically, you know, I see that I'm going to have to create other traditions in our family moving forward, where we have a solid time where when we together on those holidays, where we set the phone aside and we just hear, you know what I mean? And that's going to be maybe something that I'll have to implement within my family to have that connection, like we talked about, that we used to having. Phone rung is only one person could be on the phone in the house, you know, and the cord can only go but so far. Even if you had the 50-foot cord, we did choke one of the children out because you in the living room and they ran over there and got hooked up in the cord. But you know, it's just we got to get back together for real. So I mean, I think it's helping, and I think it's hurting us, like Equavian said, in a lot of ways.
Great points, brother Q and Arden. Kenny, coming your way. How has your Pacific holiday season and family tradition changed over the years? What are things that you did as a kid that you don't see as often during the holidays now?
Well, first and foremost, I think both the brothers touched on it, Arden and Q, about the matriarch or the patriarch passing away. It's never the same. But for me personally, Thanksgiving is the day I lost my father 22 years ago. He died Thanksgiving Day, 2002. So Thanksgiving has been it's given me a different outlook since 2002. But I talked about basic traditions. As you know, as a child, we all used to sit around. There wasn't any cell phones and all that. We would get on the phone, that dial phone, you would dial somebody and everybody standing around the phone saying, hey, and you know, and Arden brought up a great point that I didn't even think about. Zoom. That's a big change, that people Zooming. You know, we didn't have that back in the day. Right. So that's a change, which is a good change. Change is good, but the commercialization of it and the consumerism of it has changed it. I say for the worse. And like Arden said, everybody's sitting around on the phones. Even here to this day, the game's on and everybody on their phone doing their own thing. So it definitely has changed for the worse. As far as maintaining the family traditions up here, we do the family thing. We get together, go over to Auntie's house. We didn't do it this year. Wife and I just stayed home and had a few people over. We did our own thing this year, which was a different, quiet Thanksgiving. But yes, we did take a more subtle approach. And we're also planning, going forward, to doing the holidays maybe out of town. Thanksgiving or Christmas just somewhere else.
Yep. I feel you, brother. I feel you.
You know what I mean? Because it's I don't want to use the word monotonous, but every year we go to the family house and we kick it, and it's the same thing. So we're definitely planning for the future to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas out of town. Maybe what I've done before on a beach in Florida. So yes, it has definitely changed.
On a cruise, even a cruise or something.
Even a cruise. Mm-hmm. Even a cruise. For me, this is a great question, because when I was preparing for this segment, I got kind of sentimental, because a lot of things that we lose in our thought process in the course of our everyday lives. And when I'm preparing for the segment, I'm like, wow, we did this, we did that, and that's not going to happen ever again. That person here, these people on here, on the other side of the world, that was very emotional for me. But for me as a kid, and please don't judge me, because I'll get life, but the start of the holiday season for me was always Halloween.
Yep. Bingo.
It was
Bingo.
Halloween for me. And working in retail for the last 20-some years, I mean, we start seeing Christmas merchandise. Lenny and all y'all can attest to this. We start seeing Christmas merchandise in August and September. But for me, the official start of the holiday season was always Halloween after trick or treating.
I never forget that at all. You making orders in July.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
Absolutely.
on point, Kenny. You're
But
on
Halloween,
point.
Halloween was it for me. Even in here in the cold, because it was always starting like the fall, it was a little chilly. Even when I was in Florida, it was still hot, but it was still always the official start of the holiday season was Halloween for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you somewhat of a little bit more of a serious question, and thanks for your thoughts, Kenny, on that. Definitely see the Halloween piece because Halloween, then you got 30 days basically to gear up for Thanksgiving, and after Thanksgiving, you got 30
Yep.
days to gear up
Yep.
for Christmas, and it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
But this is supposed to be a joyous season. Why do some people feel anxiety, depression, and unhappiness? Could there be any connection to the fact that thoughts of past experiences, like Kenny just talked about his past joyous experience as a kid, and then when you compare it to the current realities of today, do you think that might have something to do with it, or other things? Or
I think you nailed it on the head, with the question right there. Um, if you if you come from a family that and come with memories of a joyous holiday and being young and having presents and it being, traditionally what people expect to happen um, through this holiday, then as an adult, you would want to make sure you were able to provide that and give that experience to your children. Now, the day and age is of where everybody's struggling to make ends meet and they got more month than money and it's a real serious situation when you give somebody a tale and the children are being told a lie that, oh, just write down what you want, and some guy's gonna bring it down and drop it down, and if they don't get it, then it affects their self-esteem if they believe that, and I must not be good enough to get those presents. So as a parent, if you understand that whole socialism and the mindset that that's going to give your child, then you bust in your hind parts to give them the GI Joe with the kung fu grip. And if you can't, then that pushes people. People are already stressed. And depression is at an all-time high across the country, regardless. Now, when you add that pressure, this can be a really, really serious time of the year where people are dealing with a lot of mental stress and anxieties, and it plays out a lot of different ways.
yeah,
Great
yeah.
point.
I mean, definitely, man. I definitely feel you on that. How about that? As that parent, are you trying to find some of those traditions that once were and trying to bring them into your current situation? Because now that the kids have grown, even how does that play into this thing? The kids are grown now; they out the house and all that type of stuff.
Well, what's so funny is that, like, since they're out the house, the light situation. Here we go. Since they're out the house, it's definitely beautiful because we transitioned to a different level of relationship. I mean, we had actually, we're not doing it this year, but next year we're back on it. The last couple of Christmas holiday times in December, we went to Vegas. Actually, then he went with us. We went all together a couple of times. And I took him out to Vegas, and we just went on a trip in December, and we just traveled. And I just love that new tradition for us at this point in time, as being older. Prior, we grew up. We celebrated Christmas and Kwanzaa. And so we would really exchange gifts throughout Kwanzaa. So that was like a tradition that was really nice because we would celebrate both holidays, but you would have all of that time. And I told him, I said, for certain things you got to get before Christmas, other things after Christmas you get a whole lot better deal. And their money went further, and they really loved the fact that they understood, and I was teaching economics at the same time. But those traditions are going to be long term also. But I think that it's a time to mold. It's a time to understand that certain things were straight up utilized for commercialism and consumerism, and other things you can set some principles on. I mean, that's one thing I do like about the Kwanzaa, the principalities of it. That it's just not I give you a gift and that's it.
Absolutely.
You go through talking about the real meaning of Christmas, and then you go through having other principles that support that mindset and that spirituality through to the new year. So I just think it's a really good, strong foundation in reference to teach and celebrate at the same time.
Absolutely. And let me just interject this really quick. We all touched on, and you've seen the memes on social media and the comments on social media. We just touched on it. When the matriarch or the patriarch or the family passes away, things change. The big question now is who replaces him? Who's the next in line to
That
be
void
the
of leadership.
matriarch or the family? That's a
Right.
big question.
Yeah.
Kenny, you know what? I want you to address Phyllis' question after I say this, but I want to say something to what you just said, because I've been finding that in how, and you can only go by your own family, but you know, as we are the oldest children, I guess, in the family now, and it's a lot of like nieces and nephews, you know, 5 years, 10 years younger than this. The next generation down. That's the 30-somethings and all of that. Man, tried to carry on the tradition of what we did in our family, and you know, no discontent of anything like that, but the youngest got their own ideas now, man. You know, and
Their own agenda.
and I had to come to the realization that, be it that, you know, Bess and Knight did things a certain way and we carried on as a family a certain way, and we kept that going for a while, even as my mother was elderly, and you know, years before she passed, because she was 99 when she passed, so we, even, you know, 90 on up to 99, we continued that type of thing. And then she passed, we tried it a couple of years, and now it's really just falling off tremendously. You know, they talking like you.
Who's going to step in?
They want to go to Florida. They want, you know, and I had to come to the realization, you know, it is what it is. Things will change. You know what I'm saying? So just go with the flow and, you know, be happy.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
but
take it as it comes.
you know, on the back end of that though, there's got to be some sort of sustainability to the family culture and just being together, unless, you know, moreover, not just when somebody dies, like Q said, you know, having a time to come together where it's definitely positive, it's good vibes, it's a celebration, and you know, we still need to connect. That's imperative. So, you know, we got to create some sort of tradition that people can come to. You know what I mean? That if it's not in the, you know, if it's not in the winter, then it's got to be in the summer. Something's got to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Natural, I understand your point. Your point is a very valid one, but it goes beyond that. It goes to whether people desire to do so. And Lenny was kind of addressing that. It's like the desire to do so has been kind of lessened now without some of those family leaders, because they have their own agendas now. I mean, you can invite people and ask them, but you can't force them to do things.
Oh,
And
no,
I
you
find
won't.
that I found that to be more the case now. People just have their own thing they want to do, and rather than, like Lenny and I discussed, rather than us get frustrated about it, you just gotta let them do their thing, and maybe eventually they'll come around to that and come back to, okay, I want to get back and regroup with family. But you can't norms and have them do that.
You won't force them, but there has to be vit that they can tune into or they can tap into. So if that tradition doesn't continue to be ongoing, there's nothing to plug into. So it's like, you know, that event is the outlet. And, you know, they can plug in whenever they want the power, whenever they want the light, they plug into it. But it's got to continue for it to be plugged into. And as people come, they'll
That's why I asked the question earlier, Arden, is it's just the way the fabric of the family structure, and not just for the holidays, just hasn't been torn down by technology, because COVID separated everybody from everybody.
Yes, it did.
And
everybody got used to it.
It became a norm. Somebody was talking the other day, I heard on the news that there was a big fight between these two football teams. I forget who it was, over the weekend. And they said,
Michigan,
you got to remember.
State, I think.
Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah. And so somebody tried to put the flag on somebody, turf, because they won the game. And somebody say, you got to remember, these are kids that's been cooped up for COVID. Now they out for COVID. And they ain't that, and they during their formative years, they never was trained how to act. So they was acting because you act differently online than what you do in person. You have an alter ego online, and they bringing that alter ego from online into the real world, and that shiznick don't work. So I'm just saying, it's a thought that you got to consider. Question right here. Respond.
So true. Well, T, that's a good thought right there. And Arden, go ahead. I'll let you jump in on this first, and then I'll comment on it. But go ahead, Arden, if you want to jump in on it.
You already on it.
Okay. The next generation, they're planning getaways, and that's what it goes back to what she's saying right here. It goes back to what I said. They kind of have their own agenda now, and I can't be really threatened by that because that's what individuality is all about, doing you, but at the same time, there are some family things and traditions that you would like to keep in place. You'd like to keep them in place. But if individuals do not wish to participate in that, only thing you can do is invite them. If they show up, they show up. We'll try to continue. You can try to continue to plan events, and those that want to be there will be there. Those that don't, then they'll do their own things.
That's true. And I just hate to be the conspiracy theorist, but it just seems like so much of today's world is designed to disconnect humans from each other. And it's the divide and conquer shiznick to me. If I can keep them separated, without the planning of beating around the drum back in Africa, and then the church as a place of everybody get together and worship, and we share stories and we share things and we build unity and bond and strength. If I can separate all that bull, I can conquer it. I can divide and conquer. So that's just me in there. Anyway, look.
The other side, before you jump off
good thought. Very good thought.
The other side is the fact
to put it all in perspective, to put it all in a nutshell, all our old school traditions and ideologies are gone. Be it good, be it bad, be it indifferent, they're gone. So we're at the point now we just have to adapt and adjust to what works for us. That's where we are in society.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say they're gone because you're still here. And that's why I said it's about, at this point in time, it's, what you going to do about it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And it's the mindset, what you going to do about it. God bless his soul, Joe Madison. I'm going to say his name. But the bottom line is, what I don't know, I can't say anything else, but what I'm going to do about it is make sure that we have a family reunion, make sure we have other times that we get together, that people know that we get together at this time of the year and we're going to do a family vacation. We're going to do these things that they can plug into. Because as a young person, when you first get a family, you might not be able to take off and go. You might not be able to get away and go. Some of those times where everybody else is getting away, if you have that type of job and you're still trying to start to build your family, especially as a young person, woman or man. And that might be why you're missing it. It might be other things going on in people's lives where they're not being able to plug in. But if it's still there and they still getting those stories the next time they see Aunt so-and-so or whoever, and they said, man, you should have been there. Uncle Lenny was wilding out. He picked up the bass and started funking it up. You know what I mean? And those fun stories, I'm telling you, the stories are going to sell that environment where like next year, man, I'm going. I put in my vacation time like yesterday because I'm going. And that's the power of the family, man. We know we feel it when we get there, and all we got to do is get them there. It's nothing but love. So, that's the thing. We have to be those people now. We are at the age right now that we are bedrock. We are the foundation of the families. What were you about to say, Q?
Well said, brother.
Great points.
All your points are just nothing but valid. They're nothing but valid. But once again, it still comes back to the desire from the other end. All those things you said are correct. But if the desire is not there from the other side, it's only thing you can do is continue to have them anyway. And those who want to participate will. And hopefully they'll hear about good times shared with others, and they'll eventually want to come back to family. But you can only put it out there. That's the only thing you can really do. I'll leave it at that.
No doubt. Well, look, another great show. We're going to continue this this conversation about Christmas unity, the family traditions, and all that as we progress our way through the season. Want to just shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. Thank you so much. Do got some great content coming up and some other great guests coming up over the month. So, any closing thoughts, brothers, as we adjourn for the Night Brothers show?
Just one.
Thank everybody for joining us, all our lower viewers that join us every Tuesday night at 8:05 p.m. We thank you. We got more hot topics, more great guests coming for you. I want everybody to have a happy holiday season. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Our time is here. See y'all next week.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night. Good night, brother.
16-8 till Tuesday.
Give
Peace
them a
and
gift,
love.
away gift. My grands love them over gifts. It does not have to be Christmas holiday. Good point. Good point to close on.
That's good for the
T.
season. Yes, sir.
All right,
Absolutely.
peace and love, everybody.
Thank you, G.
All right.
Have a beautiful
All
one.
right, Cheryl. Thank you too, baby. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.